Greetings and salutations. You may recall the Texas legislature meets for 140 days every 2 years. This characteristic of Texas politics can be cumbersome, especially in regards to the state's budget. The Texas Legislative Budget Board was created to manage the state's biennial budget, and they play a vital role in the legislative process. So, in this video, we will look at an overview of the Legislative Budget Board, the board's responsibilities, and the impact of the board. Without further delay, let's begin. Created by the Texas Senate Bill 387 in 1949, the Legislative Budget Board assists state legislators to create and maintain the state's budget. The Legislative Budget Board, or the LBB for short, serves three main functions for the legislature. The first function is developing a budget and policy recommendations for legislative appropriations. Remember, appropriations are spending bills. Second, completing physical analyses for proposed legislation. That is to say, they research the proposed legislation and determine if enough funds were set aside for the bill or not. And finally, conducting evaluations and reviews to improve the efficiency and performance of state and local operations. SB 387 established the LBB as a permanent joint committee within the legislature. Currently, there are 10 members that serve on the board, 5 from each chamber of the legislature. While the LBB is touted as a bipartisan committee, it is interesting to note the current partisan makeup of the committee. Today, only 2 out of the 10 members are Democrats, which demonstrates the Texas GOP's command in the legislature. So it begs the question, is the LBB really bipartisan, or is it simply a reflection of Texas politics, thus the will of the people? The creators of the LBB entrusted the board with oversight over the state's budget. The board is responsible for a host of tasks, which include adopting a constitutional spending limit, preparing a general appropriations bill draft, preparing a budget estimates document, reviewing programs and operations of state-established entities, preparing performance reports, conducting comprehensive reviews of school districts' educational, financial, and operational services and programs, guiding, reviewing, and finalizing agency strategic plans, preparing physical notes and impact statements on proposed legislation, and finally, maintaining and providing online public access to the state contract database. As we can see, the LBB is vital to the budget process here in Texas. The board serves as a gatekeeper of state funds to prevent the state from spending beyond its means. It also provides transparency to the public and conducts research for legislators. The board isn't exactly controversial, but its future is uncertain. In 2019, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick publicly called for the downsizing of the LBB staff, which composes about 100 members. As we continue to flatten the curve and struggle with COVID-19, elected officials are eager to reopen Texas. The main reason for the eagerness is simple: the state's economy. The state's budget is dependent on the strength and the health of the state's economy. As consumers are staying home due to COVID-19, we are not spending money not only on goods and services, but in gasoline as well. Gasoline and oil-related taxes are a significant source of revenue for the state, especially for our Economic Stabilization Fund, or Rainy Day Fund as it is commonly known as. The Rainy Day Fund is reserved for economic hard times and rainy days. As such, the LBB could recommend moving funds from the Rainy Day Fund to bolster public health initiatives and provide economic relief to the state, to compensate for the lack of spending and soften the impact of COVID-19 on the state's economy. The Legislative Budget Board is tasked with keeping legislators from spending beyond the state's means. The board provides not only oversight, but it provides useful data to help our state legislators properly govern the great state of Texas. While some may call for the downsize of the LBB, we must consider why. The board serves the public by overseeing how tax dollars are used in the state. And after all, the state's budget and economy is ultimately dependent on we, the people. This concludes the companion video.